Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steph Curry opens up on Warriors off-season future with team. The departure of Klay Thompson signaled the end of an era for the Golden State Warriors. At age 36 and still firmly at the top of the game, will Steph Curry follow suit? In an exclusive interview with Mark J. Spears of Anscape, the future Hall of Famer was asked if he'd be okay with playing out his days on the Warriors even if it meant not winning another title. "I've always said I want to be a Warrior for life," Curry told Spears on July 24. "At this stage in my career I feel like that's possible, and you can still be a competitive. It doesn't mean you guaranteed the championship, it doesn't mean winning is always a priority, but obviously you're realistic. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen if you stay the course. You need to shake things up and keep reimagining what it looks like to evolve with what league is at right now. With where some of these talented teams are now, Golden State countered the loss of Thompson with 3 veteran signings: Kyle Anderson, Buddy Hield and Anthony Melton, and the Warriors have been actively searching for other upgrades on the trade market, including Lauri Markkanen of the Utah Jazz. There's pressure on the front office to make a convincing run at a title this season. Curry doesn't have many prime years left. His personal championship window is closing. Curry is coming off of his 15th NBA campaign. He averaged 26.4 points, 5.1 assists and 4.5 rebounds in 74 regular season appearances with Gold State last year. Next season will mark the first since 2011 to 2012 that Curry is playing without Thompson. He told Spears he's still working on accepting the reality of free agency. "It's still weird, man," Curry said. "I really haven't figured out the emotions yet, just because it's one of those pieces that really won't sink in until you get into October and you go to the locker room and you're in your familiar sights and sounds of the Chase Center." And while he holds no ill will, Curry acknowledged that he wishes things had turned out different for Thompson and the Warriors. "All things have to come to an end at some point," Curry continued. "I wish it would have turned out differently. I wish we could have rode into the sunset, all 3 of us, Curry, Draymond Green and Thompson, as Warriors for our whole career. What we were able to do, for how long we were able to do it, and together it's special, and it speaks to how hard it is to do that. So I'm going to choose to celebrate all the things we accomplished and all the experiences we had, instead of feeling any type of resentment or getting pissed off about it." Curry, Green and Thompson will go down in the NBA history books as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, trios of all time, but another season is fast approaching and the show must go on. As of July 24, it's unclear who will take Thompson's place of 11 years as Curry's backcourt mate. Grade the trade: Thunder take West over Shun Warriors, and blockbuster deal. The Oklahoma City Thunder were the #1 seed in a competitive Western Conference last season despite the second youngest roster in the NBA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander emerged as a bona fide MVP candidate while Chet Holmgren finished second in Rookie of the Year voting, and Jane Williams took a sizable sophomore leap. Rather than resting on their laurels this summer, Sam PR has finally implemented an aggressive approach to team building. OKC isn't sitting back to canvass the league and wait its turn. The Thunder are operating like a team dedicated to winning it all right now, as they should be. What's so great about OKC's rebuild is that they can maintain long-term flexibility and sustainability while also putting a competitive roster together in the short term. Trading Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso was an all-time heist, while Prim Isaiah Hartenstein away from the New York Knicks addresses OKC's primary weakness, a lack of physicality on the glass and in the paint defensively. These upgrades put OKC close to the top of the Western Conference. hierarchy, if not at the very top. Ask me to predict the NBA Finals matchup next season and I'd probably say Celtics Thunder, and yet OKC still has the deepest reservoir of future draft picks in the league, as well as plenty of young talent to float in trade conversations. Even better, OKC still has the financial flexibility to accommodate a max contract. A new trade proposal from Greg Schwartz of Bleacher Report has OKC boosting its title claim and one-upping the Golden State Warriors with a blockbuster acquisition of Utah Jazz All-Star Lauri Markkanen. NBA rumors Warriors linked to Nets Cam Jhonson as dark horse suitors. The Brooklyn Nets are ripe for a fire sale now that they're in ring or rebuild. In the aftermath of trading M. Bridges away, the next player that's most likely to depart the team via trade is Cam Jhonson, a versatile 6'8" forward whose primary calling card is his top-tier ability to space the floor. Jhonson, even though he's set to make around $68 million over the next 3 years, should draw plenty of interest on the market, with the Golden State Warriors being one of the teams interested in the Nets forward per Brian Lewis of the New York Post. The Warriors, however, aren't among Johnson's main suitors, with Lewis calling them a dark horse contender to trade for his services along with the San Antonio Spurs and Toronto Raptors. However, those three aren't the only ones buying for the Nets forward services, with the Los Angeles Lakers, Sacramento Kings and Orlando Magic reportedly being interested as well. Cam Jhonson endured a bit of a down 2023 3-24 season amid the Nets' disappointing 32-win campaign. He averaged just 13.4 points per game on 44.6% shooting from the field, worse numbers than the ones he put up following his arrival in Brooklyn via the Kevin Durant trade. But Jhonson remained a high-level marksman from deep, making 2.4 triples a night last season on a 39.1% clip, rescuing his overall scoring efficiency with a 58.2 crew shooting percentage. Any team that will be trading for Jhonson, potentially their Warriors, should be wary of his injury history. However, Jhonson dealt with a few nagging injuries last season that limited him to just 58 games, and his hip injury history was what gave teams some pause during the 2019 NBA draft. It must be said that the Golden State Warriors won't be making any other moves this offseason until the Lauri Markkanen situation gets resolved. The Warriors continue to be in hot pursuit of the Utah Jazz star, although the Jazz have remained steadfast in their asking price, which has caused a standstill in trade negotiations. If the Dubs end up not getting Markkanen, then perhaps they could look into acquiring Cam Jhonson from the Nets. Andrew Wiggins has been on a downturn over the past 2 seasons, and perhaps the Warriors view Johnson's shooting and off-ball impact as something more useful than anything the current version of Wiggins can give. Nonetheless, with the Warriors signing Buddy Hield to Anthony Minton and Kyle Anderson, it's not like they're in dire need of what Jhonson brings to the table. Johnson's combination of size and shooting is impressive, but is he worth giving up the 3-and-D upside of Wiggins for, especially after how well Wiggins played during the Dubs' 2022 championship run? Wiggins is only 29 years of age, so it's not like he's way past his prime. Among Johnson's reported suitors, the Lakers, Kings and Magic make the most sense as a potential destination for the net sharpshooter LeBron James. Teams always benefit from high-level floor spacing. The Kings are in need of a 3-and-wing with the departure of Harrison Barnes, while the Magic's greatest kryptonite continues to be outside shooting, which Jhonson can help with in spades. If anything, the Magic should make a move, as this could also help them consolidate talent amid a few positional logjams. But with the injury-prone Jonathan Isaac already on the roster, the idea of acquiring Jhonson may give them some pause. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Cam Jhonson? Leave your opinion in the comments.